last year in 2024, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and Xavier Worthy did not play one time together as a trio all season. So Rice is working his way back from knee injury. Xavier Worthy is coming off his playoff run was great. I mean, his final game in the Super Bowl, I think he had 2 touchdowns, 160 yards receiving. He was absolutely fed weeks 11 through 17 as the Chiefs' primary target earner. And then Hollywood Brown didn't do much, missed the first 15 games. I believe it was a shoulder injury in the offseason, so he missed pretty much the entire season, came back late, didn't do much. Rashee Rice, we remember how much he was scoring, like the fantasy points. Those first 3 weeks, I mean, he was scoring us a lot of fantasy points. Scott and I were talking last night. I just went and looked. I was like, man, it feels like the way that I remember Rice's first 3 games was like he had like 15 targets a game. It was like Puka Nacua level usage. And then I went to look, and I'm like, he had that week 3, he got fed. It was like 14 targets, 12 receptions,
110 touchdown.
But before that, it was good usage, but it wasn't like he didn't get 10 targets. He didn't have any 9-target games in there. Are we sure, Jordan Richards, are you confident and sure that this offense will run through Rashee Rice? Because I'm not. I'm looking at how Kansas City utilized Xavier Worthy towards the end of the season. He was fed. I mean, just like Rashee Rice had that 14, Xavier Worthy had multi 10-plus target games towards the end of the season. In the Super Bowl, when they needed him most, he was their primary go-to. I don't think there's any pulling that back in. They're not going to reel that back in. Yeah. So my question to you is, how does this offense run, operate, and look in 2025 with I don't want to say a vulnerable Chiefs team at all, but in a division that seems like it's getting better? What does this receiving room look like? Because, Rice is saying we're going to be explosive. I want to know from you, how does this thing really operate in 25?
Well, it'll be interesting because I think Hollywood is kind of the X factor here. Is how much is he going to be involved in this team? Because you have Worthy, who can stretch the field and even showed he was great in short areas as well. Rice is great in short areas and getting yards after the catch. And how does Hollywood all fit in? We know Kelsey is going to be involved, hopefully sparingly, depending on what they decide to do offensively, because they're probably not going to need him a whole lot. But the number one question, Ray, is Patrick Mahomes going to throw the ball down the field? That's what we've been wondering and asking ourselves is, why doesn't Patrick Mahomes throw the ball down the field more? Maybe it's the way they're playing him. Maybe it's stylistically they're just playing differently. Obviously, since they've lost Tyreek Hill, they've changed the way the offense operates. And even their final year with Tyreek Hill, they didn't throw the ball downfield as much. But the concerning thing is that his first 4 years, his yards per attempt was 8.1. His air yards per attempt in the 3 years he started was 8.89 at the lowest, 8.94, and 9.58 in his very first season. The last 2 years in Kansas City, his air yards per attempt are 6.86 and 6.8.
Yeah, I mean, it's low. It's low.
It's a big difference, right?
It's low.
And when you're talking about 500, 600 pass attempts, it makes a big difference. And so unless they're going to change the way they play, which over the past 2 seasons has been short, intermediate only, and not as much explosion, Xavier Worthy will help that, maybe bring that air yards per attempt up a little bit. But I do think it's going to be the Rashee Rice show for that very reason. Stylistically, the way they've played over the past 2 years and the way I would project them coming into this season, it would be the exact same. You're not going to go all the way back to 2018 when he's throwing 9.58 air yards per attempt in 2025. You're just not going to do that. So I think it will be Rice. May not be by as much as some people project, but I do expect Rice to be the number one target and get a lot of targets in this offense.
People might sit up here today and be like, oh, yeah, I'm all in. There was a lot of skepticism on Rashee Rice going into 2024. And then he came out and scored a bunch of fantasy points. So people are like, oh, yeah. But for 14, 15, 16 weeks, you think the shit that they did for 16 weeks in the NFL season, they're going to watch what X Worthy did and said, we don't want him doing that in 2025. Are you out of your damn minds? Like, honestly, are you insane? Are you just that stuck in your prior belief that you really think this NFL team is going to watch what that rookie first-round receiver did for 16 weeks, right? Towards the end of the season, playoffs included, and say, we ain't going to do none of that in 25. Come on, man. What are we talking about? I'm not saying that Rice won't be the one or that Worthy will be. But to sit here and say that I don't think they want him to do that in 2025, I'm not buying that, Jay.